No matter what anybody tells you, hockey is a simple game. Hit them, take away time and space, put bodies towards the net, and put pucks on the net. Over a 7-game series, this will chip away at your opponents. It is more of a mental battle than it is a skill battle. And the more you take away that time and space, the more your opponent will crumble and crumble fast. And that is what has happened to the Winnipeg Jets as the St. Louis Blues, after Game 4, have seemingly taken away enough time and space from the Jets, moved the puck to defensemen, got to the net, and won the battle at the net. It has crumbled the President's Trophy winners, the 2-time back-to-back Vezina winner, 3-time Vezina winning goalie, and shattered the confidence of the Winnipeg Jets and maybe its fans. St. Louis is a very good hockey team because of the simplicity and the beauty in its game it plays. Winnipeg in the last 2 has had zero answer. This video is almost having 2 parts. We have to talk about the greatness that is St. Louis. And yes, I am wearing all Jets gear. Yes, I am a biased Jets fan. But I can tell you, St. Louis fans, know a good team when I see it. And right now, that's a good team. We're going to give you all the Easter eggs and breakdowns that you want to hear on this channel as Blues fans. But as Jets fans, stick around to the end. Second half of the video, we're going to talk to you. We're going to talk about what's occurring. We're going to talk about what the Jets need to do. And we're really going to talk to the fans in general because the feeling is probably one of panic. I bet there's 2 types of fans out there. There's the ones that are going to shrug their shoulders and go, it's a 7-game series. It's now a 3-game series. 2 are at home. See you tomorrow. Good attitude to have. There's a second set of fans out there that are going, I've seen this before. This isn't just a loss. These are 2 beatdowns. And frankly, as someone who has watched every single game in the playoffs for years from every team, we all tend to only watch our own teams. I've watched every one of them. This has not happened to a team other than the Jets. You have a right to be worried. You have a right to panic. And then we'll talk about the Jets players and the coaches. I'll try to give you a little bit of insight from my years of coaching at high level, playing at high level, as to what they may or may not be thinking. Just a guess. All right, guys, let's get after it. Video is going to be a banger, maybe a little bit uplifting. Depends which fan you are. Let me know down below in the comments. And make sure you take a look at our Discord. The link is down there. Come on in and talk to Coach Ryan D and the rest of these great fans. The story of the first period was the Jets all over the Blues. I'm going to put that in quotes. Yes, they outshot them. It looked like it was heavy Jets control. But I can tell you it didn't pass my eye test. May have passed yours, but it didn't pass mine. It felt like the Blues had it. The Jets got 2 advantageous power plays. They were unable to capitalize, but the Jets played well on those power plays. I had no concern about it. They just got Binningtoned. We call it getting goalied, unless you're playing Jordan Binnington, because the man just stood on his head and took the puck away. Tongue-in-cheek, Jim Montgomery said, we have a Stanley Cup winning goaltender that knows how to get there. And it was a dig at Connor Hellebuyck. And frankly, it's accurate at this point in time. Might not be accurate after Game 5. It took a play like this where the Jets had multiple chances, amazing chances. The puck moves from low to high, from Scheifele to Connor. And these are the little things that the Blues are doing that Winnipeg is not doing. And this is how you win a hockey game 5-1. Stick on puck. Take that puck away from Kyle Connor. You know what the play is? It moves to the corner. Excellent defense. Blues fans won't like to hear this, but they're admittedly a slower team than Winnipeg. Connor uses his speed. That puck should have been out of the zone. Turns that puck over, and Cole Perfetti shovels one close to the net. The Blues win the battle again here too. It's a quick little unfortunate bounce for them, but a really nice job by Parayko. The puck goes through Connor's skates. And it's starting to feel a little bit like the Jets just aren't going to get any traction. And the Jets are a team that need to make crisp, tight passes. If you take away an inch of space from the Jets, you take away everything from the Jets. The puck moves to the point. Sandberg makes an absolutely blistering shot. And I'm spending a lot of time on this goal because as that shot comes through from the point, it redirects wide. You wonder why the Jets hit so many posts and so many pucks went wide? Because Binnington took away the net. Sometimes when you miss a shot at the net, it's because you were shooting for such a tight corner that the area to hit is difficult and the puck ends up going wide. So I don't think people give enough credit to goaltenders in the NHL, Jordan Binnington especially, for pucks that go wide because the goalie takes away that time and space. As that puck bounces off a wall, you get the normal hockey puck luck, hits a wall, comes back out. Binnington actually scrambles over to the other side. This should be in the net. That should have gone in. It doesn't because it's the Blues and Jordan Binnington. Colton Parayko's there. Binnington has now lost the puck. Kyle Connor puts it through the legs of Parayko. There you go. You finally get a break. This game could have been 3-0 at that point. But when your goalie and your team defense keep you in the game by taking away those inches like the Blues did, oh boy, you can turn around a game. And it sure turned it around for the Blues. Goal number 2 tells the story about Connor Hellebuyck, him playing deep inside his net, and what ends up happening to Winnipeg. And one of the few weaknesses they do have that St. Louis has exploited beautifully. That puck goes to the point. St. Louis beats Winnipeg on that battle. It was a 3-on-1. Winnipeg had no shot at that battle. They didn't have enough defensive zone pressure in. St. Louis moves it over, and it's at this point in time, you know what they're setting up. They don't want to just go ahead and throw a puck on net. I mean, I would. You got a guy in front. This would be the way to go. You have a guy over here ready to tee up. It's Parayko. Why throw the puck that way? Well, I'll explain to you after this goal goes in. He tries to force it. It doesn't work. That's fine. He did exactly what I thought he would do. Awful puck bounce for Winnipeg, but this is what happens in the playoffs. Hockey's a lucky game. You've heard me say it. It ends up on Parayko's stick, and he's going to fire this through. Connor Hellebuyck is deep inside his crease at this point in time. It takes a little redirect, and it finds the top corner. Hellebuyck has been highly susceptible to point shots his entire career. When we take a look at Winnipeg's saving chart here, before the playoffs started, this was ice blue, with the exception of this area here that I have circled. That is where goals go in on Hellebuyck, and they continue to go in on the playoffs. Why? I hear a lot of people talking about how deep Hellebuyck plays in his net. He does. This is a planned strategy. This isn't a bad thing. He does it because he can move from left to right and cover angles quicker. You may take up less of the net, but it also gives the opportunity to make those big left to right pushes. And because Hellebuyck is so tall, he's a mountain of a man and has unbelievable athleticism to him, he believes he can make up for the fact that he is going to leave more corners open and more net to shoot at, even though he is taking away the ability for players to move left to right. So he ends up getting deep in here. That allows him to cover his angle quicker, so you can't make those backdoor passes. But when that puck ends up getting out to the point here, you can see normally goalies would push out about another foot and a half from here. He doesn't, and it leaves a lot of net exposed. The Blues have really good tape on this. That is why 3 out of their 5 goals tonight were scored from the point, and they will continue to do that. Winnipeg needs to find an answer for this. Connor Hellebuyck is not going to change his goaltending style, nor should he be asked to. He is one of the best in the league. You need to know this is a team and team defenders. You need to get out there and take away the points. For most teams, it is the passes across the middle. It's the passes across the Royal Road. It's the breakaways and the second chances you need to limit. On Connor Hellebuyck, it is the point shots. Life and limb need to get out there. They need to close the gap from the point. They need to not be so deep on team defense, and they need to limit these opportunities from the point, because if he can't see it, there is too much net behind him to go in, and it is too late to ask him to change. But overall, that's a great shot by Jake Neighbors, and that is fantastic work by the young players of the St. Louis Blues. Once again, we see it again. We'll get my face out of the way. The puck ends up moving all the way up to the point here, and what we need to do is Winnipeg needs to start getting players up to the point. At this point in time, it just isn't working. Keeping guys down low looking for those rebounds, you just need to make adjustments on the fly. St. Louis has done this in the playoffs. They lost the first 2 games. They have adjusted. Now it will be a question of whether or not Winnipeg can adjust. They move this over, and look at this gap. It is huge. It is monstrous. This is not going to help your goaltender out. That puck moves all the way over. It's a quick slap shot. It's in the back of the net. Brandon Tanev is normally a very defensive player, but this is a fantastic shot, and Jim Montgomery has broken down the tape on the Winnipeg Jets and Connor Hellebuyck. He understands how to put pucks in the back of the net, and he knows where the Jets are susceptible. The hallmark of a championship team is adjustments. St. Louis has adjusted. It's also kind of the hallmark for the Winnipeg Jets to be slump busters. Tyler Tucker. It's his first NHL playoff goal. Winnipeg Jets, welcome you. If you're in a 7-game losing streak, play the Jets. You're at the bottom of the league, play the Jets. Hey, you haven't scored an NHL goal? Play the Jets. You'll get one. I say it tongue in cheek. Winnipeg's had a great year, but it does seem like Winnipeg gets people out of these slumps or helps them hit records a little more than most teams. I watch a lot of hockey, but if you're a Blues fan, you got to be thrilled for them. Simple hockey, Blues power play. Binnington plays the puck, step out, quick little pass, trap Kyle Connor down low. This goal only takes seconds to materialize. As we see Jordan Binnington stamp out, he actually makes a quick little move around Kyle Connor, baits him below the line, and the breakout occurs. Now that you're 4-on-3 and even 4-on-2 with Kyle Connor pushed back there, the Rush has the opportunity to slash. This is great work. As they enter the zone, it's nothing fancy. It's just a little pass up. This is what I mean. Meat and potatoes game, simplicity wins hockey games. Take away time and space. Throw it to the front of the net. Go get a puck. Connor makes a really nice save, but there's nobody there to help him. And there's nobody there to help him because Jordan Binnington just beat them offensively. Jordan Binnington baited Connor all the way behind the line. They got numbers. The Blues capitalized. Very smart play. And that's what it looks like when your goalie is really good at handling the puck. Fourth goal, Falk. Puck comes from down here up to Justin Falk at the top. Once again, look how deep Kyle Connor is in his net. And look at the gap. Completely unacceptable gap. If you're going to have that many players down low, you better make sure those players are able to turn the puck around. They don't. Comes to the top. It's a quick little blast, and it finds its way in the back of the net. Connor can't see that, and there's a lot of daylight behind him. So there you go. Hopefully you understand why the Blues are doing what the Blues done. They're playing quite well. Winnipeg needs to find a way to adjust. And there's two really cool narratives here. If you're a Blues fan, you're going to point out the obvious. Since the Four Nations Cup, they've been the hottest team in the NHL. The Blues are a simple team. They play physical, and they are built for playoff hockey. If you have an eye test and you watch this team, you go, that team is built to play in the playoffs. Winnipeg fans, however, oh boy, do we have a lot of things to talk about, Winnipeg fans. I understand for the 5 minutes of summer we get in Winnipeg, if there was a fan that saw these two games and went, that's it, I need to know. Game 5, I'm not watching it. I'm going golfing. I got other things to do. I get that. This is not an acceptable effort from a hockey team. Yes, the hockey team is the one and the players are the ones that are really worried about that. But simply as a fan, I tell you this, if you have friends or family that are upset, angry, disillusioned, or disheartened in the team, they're not walking away because they're fair weather fans. Nobody ties you to a chair and says you have to spend your hard-earned time and money to watch a team perform like it has in the last two games. So if you got other things to do, I get it. All I'm asking is that the other fans, give those guys a bit of a break. Number 2, the players, the team. Hockey mentality is critical. And at the end of the day, you do not lose games in this fashion if you are mentally tough. Every team and every game I have watched in the playoffs has been close. Tons of overtimes, tons of close games. Even losses are never bad losses. Everything comes off the back of one bad bounce or one little mistake. This is not that. This is St. Louis dominating Winnipeg in all aspects of the game, from time, space, physicality, and play. This is not close in the last two games. Will Winnipeg be able to rebound under home fans? They might. It's a very hard building to play in when you come into the whiteout. They'll get to sleep in their own bed. They'll get Gabe Vilardi back. It may turn around. But there is the other reality that time and space has been taken away, and they may never get it back. If Winnipeg doesn't get back that time and space, what are they going to do to adjust to win this? It will be very difficult. The playoffs is all a battle of mentality. Yes, Winnipeg has hurt players. Sure, so does St. Louis. Every player in this series on both teams has bruises, bumps, tears, maybe breaks in their body. It is exhausting and it hurts. It depends which team wants to wake up and be mentally ready to do it again. And right now it looks like St. Louis is the team that is mentally ready to do it again. Top to bottom in the Winnipeg Jets roster, they are not playing Jets hockey. They are not causing the speed, the turnovers, the rushes, and the takeaways that they have all year. I don't know if it's because they're hurt. I don't know if it's because they're tired, but I'll offer you a professional opinion. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't. Welcome to the playoffs. This is what you have to do in order to win. And if you want to change narrative around who you are as a player and as a team, this is where you have to do it, in the playoffs. When people talk about Connor Hellebuyck's legacy, he is quickly turning into Curtis Joseph. I don't say that to be mean. Joseph is one of the best regular season goalies to ever play. Terrible in the playoffs. Sorry if you're a Joseph fan. Connor Hellebuyck better find a way to turn this around. I don't believe any of those goals were really on Connor Hellebuyck, but that's pointless, and it's regardless to this conversation. It matters nothing because Binnington took away goals that should have gone in. I have watched goaltenders like Mackenzie Blackwood take away tons of goals that should have gone in, playing above their level, taking away pucks that they shouldn't. And the advantage the Jets have is to have the best goalie in the world. And he is being out-goalied by multiple goalies in the playoffs at this point in time. Goalies are making saves they shouldn't make. They are making plays you wouldn't think they would make, and they are standing on their head. Another American counterpart in Jake Ottinger is playing very well. Yes, they lost 4-0 to Dallas, but that man stood on his head, and he took a lot of punishment from the Colorado Avalanche. Playing better than Hellebuyck. I point him out because they played on the same team together. They're a very similar profile build, and he's had good games. He's able to bounce back. I didn't watch that game and feel like Dallas completely crumbled. I watched this game and feel Winnipeg did completely crumble. Winnipeg is going to have to do a few things in the next game. The first is they have to stay out of the box completely. I told you St. Louis was going to drag them into deep water. They were going to try to drown them in mud, in a slog. Winnipeg needs to stay out of that. Stay out of the box. They are not good enough on the kill to hang with this team on the power play. They do not have the ability to take bad penalties at any point in time and go to the box. And that first power play, that goal happened because I think Lowry took a dumb penalty. There was no reason to step in there. Why do you need to step in and be tough to a guy named Tyler Tucker, who is not an impact player like a Colton Parayko or any other name I can name on the St. Louis Blues, and your captain and best penalty killer is in the box for what? Nothing. Stay out of it. Beat him where it hurts on the scoreboard, not with fists. That's the way you win hockey games. I got a lot of respect for Lowry. I'm not knocking him. It's just a great example as to what happens when you lose your mentality or your mindset, even for a second. The intention is pure. What he is trying to do, I understand, but you have to stay above it if you want to win a Stanley Cup. To the coaches of the Jets, they are going to have to find a way to adjust that defensive zone and get to the point. Take it away. Make St. Louis beat you down low. Do not let them beat you at the point. You cannot do that and allow a shooting gallery from the top. And then finally, if you're talking to the offensive coaches, especially on the power play, Winnipeg has moved Connor and Scheifele to the left side to accommodate for Cole Perfetti on the right. Why? Do not do this. Kyle Connor belongs on that right side. Mark Scheifele needs to stay with Kyle Connor on that right side or in the bumper. You can't move around the power play like that and expect success. They looked good on the power play. They just didn't convert. You're going to have to find a way to beat Jordan Binnington both on the power play and down low. And offensively, you are going to have to find a way to figure out time and space because St. Louis has taken it away. If those quick little passes don't work, they are going to have to adjust to a possible chip and chase style or a style where you just throw pucks on net and stop looking for the best shot. Just get a shot at this point in time. Binnington has taken away the best shot routinely. They should go in. He's ready for them. Throw junk at the net, garbage, anything and everything you can at the net in order to break down that goaltender. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. Now they're heading to a tough building to play in Game 5, St. Louis is, and it'll be a very interesting part of the series. There will be a group of people that says Game 5 will tell the story. I hate that crap. You know why? Game 1 will tell the story. Game 2 will tell the story. Every game tells a story. Duh. It's a 3-game series coming up now. Winnipeg needs to take the next one. If they lose on this one, it is going to be very tough sledding to move it to Game 7. St. Louis needs to capitalize on the momentum they have built. They have to steal one on the road, and they are primed to steal this one in Winnipeg on the road and extend this streak to 3 wins. You guys let me know what you think down below. I love hearing comments from both sides. If you're wondering why I still left my Jets jersey on and my hat on, I will always be a Jets fan. I'm not embarrassed to wear it. I will never take it off. I'll never throw it on the ice. You won't see me burning it out back. It's my team. It's my city. It's my home. Pretty neutral when it comes to calling this on these videos here, so I hope you appreciate it, St. Louis fans. Go Jets, go. Good job done by the Blues. We'll catch you for more playoff action real soon.